All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think is about to completely change how we all build software. And it all kicks off with just one kind of frustrating number.
Yep, 40%. Look, if you're a developer, if you write code day in and day out, this number probably hits a little too close to home. You might not know why just yet, but you feel it. It's this massive hidden tax on your time, your energy, and your creativity. So what is it? Well, the estimate is that 40% of our code bases, it's just glue. You know what I'm talking about. It's that boring, repetitive, thankless work that you have to do, but it is absolutely not the cool feature you were excited to build in the first place. And this is what we're calling the glue code trap. It's this huge, invisible black hole that's sucking up our industry's resources. It's what slows down innovation. It's what keeps us all bogged down in, well, digital plumbing. Okay, so let's be super clear. What is glue code exactly? It's all those connectors and adapters we have to write over and over again. It's the code that just, authenticates with service A, grabs some data, messes with the format, and then shoves it into service B. Yeah, it's got to be done, but let's be honest, it's not that killer feature you were actually hired to build, right?
And this right here is the perfect picture of that frustrating gap between what we want to do and what we actually do. I mean, you got into this to build incredible user experiences, to solve real problems. But where do you spend your time? A huge chunk of it is just wrestling with API connectors, parsing JSON, and dealing with versioning nightmares.
But what if we could just escape that trap? What if we could get that 40% of our time back? Imagine that. Well, that's exactly where this new architectural idea comes into play. It's called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short.
And this analogy is just perfect. Think about it. Right now, our software architecture is like that drawer full of random cables, a messy ball of wires, right? A custom-built integration for every single service. What MCP wants to be is that one single universal plug. It's basically the USB-C for APIs. Now, this is the really important part to get. MCP is not just another library you NPM install. It's not a framework. It's a fundamental shift in architecture. It's about creating one standard way for AI agents to talk to any API that uses the protocol. And if you do that, you literally eliminate the need for all that custom glue code.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? How does it change your day-to-day? Let's put the old way and the new way side by side. It's pretty eye-opening. First up, the old way. The painful muscle memory. You open the API docs in one tab, your editor in another. You write the fetch call, you build out all the error handling, you parse the JSON, and you do this for every single endpoint, for every single service. Okay. Now, the new way. The difference is just staggering. Your job isn't to write all those low-level steps anymore. You just state what you want to happen. You just say, refund this user. That's it. The AI agent, which speaks the universal language of MCP, just handles the rest. And this really gets to the core of it. Your role completely changes. You stop focusing on the how and start focusing on the what. You're not the plumber anymore, meticulously connecting all the pipes. No, you're the architect, telling an intelligent assistant what the end goal is. And look, this isn't some sci-fi, far-off future stuff. This is actually starting to happen right now. So let's bring it down to earth with a real-world example. Let's see how this could totally change the game for, say, mobile app development. So if you're a Flutter developer, for example, there are already tools popping up like MCP Client Dart. Think of this as a single, simple client library. It's basically your app's one and only key to the entire MCP ecosystem. Now, really let that sink in. You include this one client, and suddenly your Flutter app can talk to Stripe, and Jira, and Notion, and Gmail, and literally any other service that has an MCP endpoint. You don't write a new SDK for each one. You don't build any custom connectors. It just works. It's kind of magic. Okay, so if we're not building the pipes anymore, what does that actually mean for our projects, for our code bases? Well, this all leads to a really powerful and, I think for a lot of us, a very, very satisfying idea. This is the big takeaway. The future isn't about building the pipes. It's about making sure the water flows. The water is the value you're delivering to your user. Stop worrying about the complex, brittle plumbing that gets it there. Let the standards handle the plumbing. And this command, this is the dream, isn't it?
Can you just imagine the pure satisfaction of deleting that entire integrations folder? All that messy, fragile code gone. That's the moment you get that 40% of your life back. The moment you're finally free to build the stuff that actually matters. Look, this isn't about getting rid of jobs. It's about getting rid of the most boring, tedious part of our jobs. A future with less glue code is just a future with more creating, more innovation, more time building things that people actually love using. So I'll leave you with this question. If 40% of your job just vanished tomorrow, what would you build?